In this video, we're going to learn how to turn our audio from this to something that sounds better and a lot more professional like this. First things first, we do need to talk about the hardware because there's different microphones for different purposes. What microphone you need depends on two things: what you shoot and where you shoot. And there's a few popular options, so let's start with the shotgun microphone. Using a shotgun microphone or a vlog microphone is great because you just put it on your camera, you connect it to the camera either via a cable, or if you're using Sony, this microphone is really great because it connects via the hot shoe. This is the easiest workflow ever. It requires very little post-production work because you're recording the audio internally, which means you do not need to sync any files later on in the editing process. I would say that generally using a shotgun microphone is great if you're out and about, if you're vlogging a lot, or if you're in a room with good acoustics. Now, if you're in a room like me though, that is quite reverby, it's not going to do the trick for you because it is going to sound like this. In general, you want the microphone to be as close to you as possible, especially if you're in a reverby room, which is probably why you're noticing that this microphone is in my personal space. Therefore, a shotgun microphone is not the best option, and that is not where this one comes in, because first we're going to talk about the other option, lavalier mics. A lav or lavalier microphone is a small microphone that you can just clip onto your shirt or your coat, for example, and you can record your audio that way. Now, a lot of them will record straight into the camera or into your phone, which is great because that again makes your workflow super easy and super fast. There are some wired options like the Boya microphone, which is what I used when I started my YouTube channel because it was only 20 bucks, and I think for 20 bucks it actually sounded really decent. And then there's also more practical wireless options like this one, for example. This one is from Sony. Again, it connects via the hot shoe. As you can see, it is on the bigger side though, and the reason why I'm not recording with this right now is because I couldn't get it to work. I don't know what I did wrong, but I can't get it to work. So in theory, this is great. I just don't have anything to say about it. But yeah, you just clip it onto your shirt and you should be able to start recording like this. Now, personally, I don't like this at all, which is why I've been using a desk mic for years now. And this is the new one that I'm using because for years I've been actually using an orange one, which if you've watched my videos before, you've probably seen. The main reason why I personally like to use a desk microphone instead of a lavalier or a shotgun or a top-down boom mic is because it's the closest to my face, which means that the audio in this reverby room is going to sound the best. And with the lavalier microphone, there have been instances where I've been moving around and I'm just kind of like, you know, like ruining the audio that way. And if there's one thing I want to avoid, it is doing reshoots. So this is a godsend. Like I just said, I've been using this orange microphone for years. It has treated me super well, but it gotten a bit janky because I dropped it a few times. It was definitely due an upgrade. So I was really excited when Shure wanted to send over some of their microphones for me to try out and upgrade my setup with. Now, this one that you're listening to right now is the MV7 Plus, and it is made for streamers, podcasters, creators. It is more on the affordable end. What I really like about this microphone, besides how it sounds, is that it's so easy to use. I don't like to have to use all of these kind of interfaces and cloud lifters, and I don't even know what that stuff is, and I do not want to be bothered with it, okay? I just want something simple that sounds good, and that is this microphone because you just connect it with a USB-C cable to USB-C. It's just plug and play, and you're ready to go. The one thing though I will say about this microphone that I didn't like, but now that I know, I think it's not going to be an issue anymore, is like right here on the side, as I was adjusting my microphone, I just tapped it and it turned red. And I didn't notice that it turned red. So I was just talking for about a minute and I realized that I hadn't been recording any audio for a minute. So then I had to reshoot it. So apparently that is like a quick way to turn the microphone on and off, which I totally see the benefit from. But at the same time, it's so easy to tap it, but so far so good. And I am loving the sound of this microphone. By the way, if you would be interested in a comparison video where I compare the microphones that I currently have lying around the house, which are quite a few, let me know, because I've got microphones ranging from 20 bucks to like 600 bucks. So if that would help you, I am more than happy to make that video. So let me know in the comments. If you have a little bit more budget, I would recommend going for the SM7DB. Now, it's not the SM7B, it's actually the same but better than the golden standard of YouTube, of podcasting, of the last, I don't know, like 50 years. This microphone, like I said, is the same, but it has a built-in preamp. With the SM7B, even though it is still an XLR microphone, they actually send me this little interface. Basically, you just put the XLR cable in here, you put your USB-C in here, you put that in your laptop, and you're ready to go. It's super easy, it's super simple, and I love this microphone. I love it. It sounds so nice. I feel so professional. Now, besides the XLR cable that is required for this microphone, it is also a little bit bigger than the MV7 Plus, so depending on what is important to you, I don't think you can go wrong with either because they both sound really good. Using good audio in your videos is of vital importance, but using good music will really elevate your videos as well. It adds to the vibe, and more importantly, it also just makes your video feel a lot fuller, like any of my videos, because this is what it would sound like if I was not using any audio in my entire video. It's pretty stale, pretty boring, feels empty, and I feel like adding a song just adds that extra. But when I use music like this track, it's just such a vibe and I just love it so much. And if you've been enjoying the music that I'm using in my videos, it's from a library called Track Club. Now, the best thing about Track Club, in my opinion, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, is the fact that they offer a feature called MixLab. Now, this technology allows you to adjust every stem individually, and that'll really help make it fit the vibe of your video. And this is my life hack because I do this for every single video, every single song that I use. And I'm not sure if I should say this because I think a lot of people are going to be coming for me for saying this, but if your audio is not perfect and you add a little background song, it's gonna sound a lot better because now there's something that's sort of distracting your viewer a little bit from the audio. Obviously, your audio needs to be good, which is what we're talking about in this video, but it just adds that little extra. It doesn't sound as empty. It just takes away a little, you know? So if you want to try it out, there is a link for a 2-month free trial to Track Club in the description. Check it out. Like I said at the beginning of the video, it depends on what you shoot and where you shoot. Now, where is super important. Location is so important because regardless of what microphone you use, you'll do yourself a huge favor by shooting in a room with good acoustics. Now, this doesn't mean that you need to go ahead and buy some acoustic panels, which would be great, but you can also shoot in a room with a lot of soft material. So a couch, a carpet, curtains, basically anything that can absorb the reverb and just create a little bit more of an ideal recording space. On the other side, if you have an empty room or a room with a lot of hard surfaces, like me, you're not doing yourself any favors because the sound waves can literally bounce any direction and bounce back, which is creating this hollow reverb sound that we don't want in our recording. I am the worst example because I shoot in a room with reverb. As I'm talking right now, I can hear the reverb, but you know, that actually makes these microphones shine even better because it sounds great. Now, because I'm using this microphone, I am actually recording the audio externally through Adobe Audition. Once I've imported it to Premiere Pro, I honestly do very minimal tweaking because these microphones are pretty good in my opinion. So depending on your location and what microphone you're using, you might need to do some minor tweaks to just really enhance the sound of your voice. The first thing that you want to do is you want to check the settings of your audio file and make sure that you change it from stereo to mono. Right click, then click on Modify, Audio Channels, and then change it to mono. If you record your audio externally like I do, then the first step is to sync it. In order to do this, we're going to right click, synchronize, and then make sure that all of these settings are correct and hit OK. Then we want to set the dB between -6 and -12, which is ideal for dialogue. There's a lot of other effects that you can add to really enhance your voice, but honestly, what I do is I just use speech enhancement, and this is in the latest version of Premiere Pro. Personally, I recommend to do the speech enhancement last because it's gonna take some time for Premiere Pro to do, and there's honestly no point in doing it on the raw file before you're actually cutting it all up because it's gonna take a lot of time, and Premiere Pro will have to kind of like reanalyze every time that you make a cut, in my experience. So when you're done with your video, select all of your dialogue clips, enable speech enhancements, and go grab yourself a cup of coffee while you're waiting for Premiere Pro to finish, or watch this video right here. And of course, don't forget to subscribe.